Hey, what's up guys, it's been Elasco here coming at you with another Sword and Shield video, and today we're gonna go ahead and look at the CatBurglar Sword and Shield, which is a new event quest which gives you access to CatBurglar skill, which basically can steal a random item, and in those random items you can get silver melding tickets, so this is why you kind of want it. So here's some reward from an actual quest. So what you're actually looking for are the Silver Talisman tickets, which I actually got two this run, which is nice. You can get some pop print tickets from Mars Fair, some other things for food, but the main thing you want are the silver melding tickets, which is why I'm doing this video. So the Popcorn ticket can be used for golden eggs. The Felon Fury Ruby can use for 500 melding point at the Smithy. And you can do good times even with 9 stars. 18 minutes isn't that bad. Especially when with Gogmazio's weapon you can do around 12 minutes. So without further ado, let's look at the build. So we're gonna have the Radau, Sandmel Y, Udra Meyer Y, the G Ebony Braces B Transcended, of course, the Radau Senkoi Y, and the Gogmazio's Grev Ape. And for the talisman, I recommend basically any 3-slot talisman for comfort with either agitator or laden power. I know I have an offensive guard, but it is not the main focus. Handicraft laden power would have worked too, but I really want those 3 slots jewels for comfort, and it's gonna give you a lot more DPS in the long game. So here are the jewels. So it's pretty simple. Two critical boosts on the Sword and Shield. Guardian Jewel for extra damage, which is really nice when you can get all 3 of them. It's going to give you a 15% raw damage buff for free. And for the rest of the jewel, it's pretty simple. Throttle Jewels, Throttle, Challenger, Counter, and another Challenger. I added a Flawless Jewel at the end to get some extra raw damage. The Gogmazio's shoes are really nice for the jewel slots to allow you some comfort and that extra peak performance. The reason is since it does solo raw damage, it's the most you can get. And I've actually looked through other setup like Lagi set bonus or a bony boost, and it is not worth it to get. I think this setup is basically the most damage you can get with the comfort of having Shockproof and 2 Gobbler level, which is really nice with Sword and Shield since you don't have to cheat. It's basically DPS. So here are all the skills. So Counter Strike, which is free with the Udramai Y, gives you 2, just an extra socket. It gives you 25 raw damage, which is really nice for the damage. You get Peak Performance level 3, which is an extra 10% raw damage boost. Then you get the Shockproof Jewel. Of course, if you play multiplayer, very nice to not get staggered, but I recommend a solo player to get the most value out of it. You can change it if you're doing solo with the Divine Blessing, which is going to bring it to level 2, but with the laden power, I like Divine Blessing, but I don't really want to use it. Or just use a speed aiding or whatever. If you're solo, Shockproof isn't very necessary. Then we will jump into Offensive Guard, which, as I said earlier, it's a 15% raw damage boost if you can get Offensive Guard level 3, which is my talisman is kind of nice for it, but I understand the RNG. A 10% is nice. For the set bonus, we're gonna have Radau's Voltage, Lord Soul. That's pretty much it. I try to look, as I said earlier, try to look into other setups, but those are basically what I came up with to do the most damage and get the most value out of your 100% crit. So here's the final result: crit boost, offensive guard, agitator. So you will get 15% affinity from agitator with your 10% already, so it will bring you up to 25% affinity. With latent power, it's a huge 40%, which is 65% affinity already. You have peak performance counter strike for raw damage. You get maximum might for an extra 30%, which bring you up to 95% affinity. on any part of the monster you hit, so it's extra chance, and you get that extra 5% from weakness exploit level 1 on weak spots, which bring you up to 100% if you always hit the head or the legs of Steve. And to complete everything, you get that extra 1 level of burst. With 9 stars monster, it is really easy to activate Agitator and Latent Power, and you get that extra Raid House Voltage and Lord Soul to give you extra plus. So yeah guys, this is the build. I've looked through other setups and I couldn't find more damage, but it works pretty fine, and since you get 95% affinity on any zone of the monsters, you can farm infinite items from one quest, and I think it's worth it to use it a little. Even if you do 20-minute suns, it's fine. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and leave a like.